Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories. My name is Matt. I know this podcast is quite new, but some of you have been following along for a while now. As you may have noticed, the narrator has changed a couple of times already in just a few months. The truth is, the podcast has been growing extremely slow, and basically nobody has left us any reviews so far. I'm here as the new voice of the podcast and would love to stick around, but I need your support to do so. Please, if you enjoy our content, it would mean so much to us if you could just leave us a review on whichever podcast platform you use. Now, take a deep breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories. You've arrived at a place where time slows down and where the gentle hush of evening cradles your senses in velvet serenity. Allow yourself a moment to settle, to feel the weight of the day slipping softly from your shoulders. Breathe in, letting your lungs fill with the quiet promise of rest. Breathe out, releasing any worries that linger at the edges of your thoughts. Tonight, you will wander through a hidden realm known as the Gilded Dragonfly Grotto, a peaceful haven brimming with soft light and gentle wonders. In this mystical retreat, everything glimmers with a comforting glow, and you need only listen, breathing slowly, as each word guides you ever nearer to deep and tranquil slumber. Feel your eyelids relax and your jaw loosen, and sense the subtle warmth pooling behind your eyes. Imagine a gentle wave of calm washing across your brow. That wave flows down to your chest, then slips along your arms, warming and soothing every part of you. With each exhale, you sink deeper into the hush of evening, each breath a soft invitation to drift into a space of safety and stillness. There is nothing to do right now but listen to a soothing story of twinkling lantern lights and glowing wings. All the errands of the day are behind you. The future can wait. For now, let your mind float as the voice you hear carries you into a realm where starlight mingles with secret caverns, where the gentle flutter of wings is a lullaby, and where the hush of the earth can lull you to the threshold of sleep. Beyond a quiet forest of ancient pines, where the canopy arches like a cathedral, woven from branches, a narrow footpath leads down to a secluded valley. Thick moss covers the stones, muffling each step, and the wind that rustles the leaves overhead speaks in whispers, as though it were shy of disturbing the hush. The air here has a damp coolness, reminiscent of hidden waterfalls and dew-kissed fern fronds. Nighttime birds occasionally call through the darkness, their voices a musical echo that fades softly into the distance. Down in the heart of this valley, an entrance to a secret grotto awaits, half concealed by winding vines and boulders, dotted with pale lichen. From afar, it might appear like any other cave opening. Yet, should one draw close and peer through the tangle of ivy, a faint shimmering glow becomes apparent. Gentle as moonlight, this glow spills onto the rocky threshold, beckoning any curious soul to step inside and discover its origin. That is precisely what a traveler named Aurelia does on a moonlit night. Moved by an unnamed longing for peace, and wonder. She has followed the glow of tiny golden dragonflies flickering through the pines, their wings shining like polished amber in the moon's silver beams. One after another, they lead her forward, encouraging her steps down the forest path until she stands at the entrance of the grotto, heart quietly thrilled by the promise of what lies within. Aurelia carries with her little more than the soft cloak around her shoulders, the gentle memory of starlight behind her eyes, and an open curiosity that has always guided her toward hidden corners of the world. The night holds its breath as she steps into the grotto. Inside, the floor is smooth yet dotted with small puddles of water that catch and reflect the subtle luminescence. Along the walls, clusters of polished crystals glint like shards of captured moonlight. The sweet, distant hum of an underground stream resonates in the far reaches of the cavern, a lullaby in slow dripping time. Somewhere overhead, a hush of wings glides past, and Aurelia glances up to see a single gilded dragonfly, its fragile wings shimmering with an otherworldly glow. It seems to beckon her deeper inside, guiding her through twisting corridors that angle softly to the left, then to the right. The walls of the grotto slope gracefully, arching overhead in smooth curves that feel almost welcoming, as if they were sculpted from the earth by a gentle hand. A mossy carpet lines the edges of the passage, and Aurelia's footsteps make only the faintest sound upon the damp stone. In this timeless space, it becomes difficult to tell how many breaths have passed or how far she's walked. The hush is nearly absolute, save for the occasional drip of water echoing from hidden fissures in the stone. Yet as Aurelia ventures deeper, the glow intensifies. It brightens softly, never harsh, forming a comforting radiance that glides alongside the dragonfly's glimmering wings. The air grows warm, infused with a faint perfume reminiscent of wildflowers and dew. Soon the passage opens into a wide cavern. A pool of water stretches across the center, its surface mirroring the chamber's ceiling. The reflections dance with soft light, and the entire room seems enveloped by a gentle shimmer, as if touched by starlight that found its way underground. Scattered along the edges of this space are large, smooth stones in natural shapes, providing resting places for any traveler who might come this way. Tiny specks of golden dust seem to hover like fireflies, drifting on the currents of the subterranean breeze. Aurelia stands at the threshold, letting her gaze roam over every detail. Before her, the gilded dragonfly hovers, its translucent wings humming gently, drawing her attention toward a particular cluster of stones. She follows its beckoning and settles upon a cool, polished rock beside the water. The smooth surface, a calming sensation beneath her fingers. The quiet is profound, offering a sanctuary from all hurried thoughts. Even her own breath, so soft in the deep darkness, settles into an untroubled rhythm. Something about this place stirs in Aurelia, a gentle memory, some distant dream of sitting on a riverbank under a full moon, or perhaps watching fireflies dance in a meadow at twilight. It is a feeling of comfort, of being in a space where the heartbeat of the earth aligns with the human heart. Leaning slightly forward, she dips her fingertips into the pool, causing a gentle ripple. The water is cool, fresh, and when she withdraws her hand, tiny droplets glitter like jewels before rolling softly down her skin. Minutes or hours might pass without any sense of time's progress. There's only the soft hum of silence and the presence of little golden sparks dancing in the air. At length, a subtle movement at the far side of the cavern draws Aurelia's attention. From the shadows emerges a quiet figure with kind eyes and a serene aura. This figure, dressed in robes woven from the same mossy green that carpets the grotto, moves with unhurried grace across the stones. Though the figure's face is partially concealed by the dim light, it radiates a gentle warmth, as though it were part of the grotto itself. When the figure comes close, there is no rush of words, only a sense of welcome. The newcomer sits on a nearby stone, offering a faint smile, and Aurelia senses that she is not intruding here. Rather, she is honored, a guest in a realm that few have visited. The gilded dragonfly settles quietly on the figure's shoulder, folding its wings in a gesture of tranquil contentment. The figure then lifts a wooden bowl from within the folds of the robes, filled with water that catches the faint gleam of the dragonfly's glow. In a graceful movement, the bowl is offered to Aurelia as a wordless gesture of hospitality. She accepts the bowl, cupping it in both hands. The water inside is fresh, and with each sip, she feels a spreading warmth that is almost magical, a gentle reassurance flowing through her being. It is as if the grotto itself shares its vitality, encouraging any weary traveler to rest and find comfort. When Aurelia finishes, the figure nods respectfully, setting the bowl aside. Then the figure reaches a hand toward the pool, touching its surface with slim, graceful fingers. A ripple spreads across the water, and within that motion, faint shapes of light appear, weaving patterns on the reflection. It is at this moment that Aurelia feels a deep calm settle over her mind. The subtle swirls of luminescence upon the water suggest a story unfolding, a story of how this grotto came into being, born out of an ancient promise between the forest and the hidden streams beneath the earth. Through visions that feel more like memories than imagination, she glimpses a time when the dragonflies first discovered the glowing crystals, drawn by their gentle radiance. Over centuries, the insects carried tiny bits of luminescent dust on their wings, spreading the glow from one chamber to another until the entire cavern network became a softly shimmering realm. In these images, the quiet figure appears again and again, guiding wayward travelers and caring for the grotto's tranquil soul. When the images fade, the figure lowers their hand and the grotto returns to its gentle twinkling hush. Aurelia looks looks up, quietly awed. She senses that words are unnecessary here, that this entire place communicates in a silent language of comfort and calm. The figure rises, stepping a little farther around the pool, then makes a subtle gesture, inviting Aurelia to follow. She does so, stepping carefully upon the stone path that rings the water. Each footstep echoes gently like a soft drum beat in a grand cathedral. On the opposite side of the cavern, another corridor beckons, narrower than the passage they entered by, but lit by the same golden dust that glimmers upon the walls. As they move onward, Aurelia notices that the air grows slightly warmer, as if the earth itself breathes a gentle heat from deeper within. The corridor curves gracefully, revealing smaller chambers lined with delicate crystals. Some sparkle in pure white, reminiscent of the moon's glow. Others emit an almost pastel hue, pinkish like dawn, or pale lavender like distant twilight clouds. Each crystal cluster sings in faint harmonic tones, if one is quiet enough to listen. And Aurelia, in the hush of this magical realm, is indeed listening. Now and then, the caretaker figure touches a crystal lightly, and the entire cluster resonates with a soft, chiming sound that merges seamlessly with the hush of water droplets. These gentle tones weave an almost lullaby-like melody that seems to trail behind them as they walk, encouraging deeper and deeper relaxation. Every step Aurelia takes feels more fluid, as though she's moving in harmony with the breathing of the grotto itself. The golden dragonfly continues to glide in the air ahead, pausing to hover where the crystals shine brightest, as if ensuring no beauty is missed. Eventually, they come to a small alcove in the corridor. Here, the stone floor dips gently, forming a shallow depression filled with still water that reflects the shimmering dust in the air. At the center, a single lotus blossom floats upon the surface. Petals of pale gold edged with soft pink catch the glints of light, creating a gentle radiance. The caretaker stops, motioning for Aurelia to observe. Bending down, Aurelia peers into the pool. She sees her own reflection bathed in the gentle glow of the grotto, yet around the edges of her reflection appear faint images. Perhaps long-forgotten comforts or dreams whispered by her mind. She sees images of star-filled skies, warm fires on chilly evenings, and fields of tall grass waving in a summer breeze. These visions overlap and flow gently into one another, dissolving worry and bringing a sense of timeless comfort. The caretaker then lifts a small ladle from beside the alcove. With great care, they scoop a bit of the still, glowing water and pour it around the lotus blossom, causing concentric ripples to spread outward. With each ripple, the shimmering dust in the air seems to spark in sympathetic delight. The corridor grows just a bit brighter, as if the grotto is responding to this gesture. A sense of profound connection fills Aurelia, an awareness that every droplet of water, every crystal, and every living being here shares in the same gentle hush. It is a realm of harmony, an oasis of rest in a sometimes restless world. As they continue onward, the corridor widens again, and and the caretaker guides Aurelia into a smaller, more intimate cavern. The walls here are velvet smooth, draped with delicate vines that hold clusters of tiny glowing blossoms. These blossoms resemble morning dew turned into gentle lanterns, lighting the space with a soft, pale luminescence. In the center of the chamber is a circular dais of polished stone. Subtle runes are etched into its surface, though they seem worn by time and softened by the moss that grows around the edges. The caretaker motions for Aurelia to step upon the dais. Carefully, she does so, feeling a comforting warmth emanate from the stone beneath her feet. The caretaker closes their eyes, raising a hand that glows with a soft, golden shimmer, as if channeling the energy of the grotto. A hush falls over the chamber, deeper than any hush before. Slowly, Aurelia's eyelids drift shut, and behind the darkness of her own lids, she perceives swirling lights. She breathes calmly, letting each breath flow in and out like a gentle tide. The swirling lights coalesce, forming dreamlike patterns that evoke peace, healing, and a belonging to all the wonders of nature. In this calm, Aurelia feels her cares dissolving one by one, as though each exhale releases them into the quiet. Tension unwinds from her shoulders, replaced by a softness that spreads across her body. The dais beneath her provides steady support, a welcoming seat in the cradle of the earth. She loses track of how long she stands there, but at last the caretaker gently taps the dais, and Aurelia opens her eyes, feeling renewed. The caretaker's own gaze seems full of ancient wisdom, yet brimming with the simple kindness of a friend. Together they leave the chamber, moving once more through winding tunnels. Eventually, the caretaker guides her to a final, hidden cove, nestled deeper in the grotto. A small entrance, just wide enough to slip through, leads to a lofty chamber whose ceiling arches high overhead. Stalactites shimmer with gilded edges, reflecting the delicate glow from hidden crystals. The floor is scattered with cushions crafted from thick moss and covered with plush, woven fabrics. The caretaker gestures toward one particular cushion set near a cluster of softly pulsing crystals. There, the light pulses in a slow, rhythmic dance, like a heartbeat or a gentle breath. Aurelia settles onto the cushion, feeling the welcoming softness wrap around her. Her body, though tired from the journey, is relaxed and open to the grotto's embrace. The caretaker kneels nearby, humming a quiet melody. The golden dragonfly flutters in graceful circles overhead, then drifts lower, as though drawn by the caretaker's song. As Aurelia listens to that gentle tune, all sense of urgency or responsibility slips away. Her mind eases into a tranquil clarity. Each note is a soft lull, carrying her deeper into serenity. After a few moments, the caretaker's voice, low and soothing, begins to weave a tale of how the grotto came to be named for the gilded dragonflies. Long ago, when the forest above was young, A single dragonfly with wings of pure gold took refuge from a fierce storm by slipping into a crack in the rocks. It fluttered through the darkness until it found the crystals shining faintly in the gloom, offering a welcome glow. The dragonfly rested there, cleaning its wings of rainwater, and as it did, some of the crystal's luminescence rubbed onto its delicate wingtips. When the storm passed, it emerged from the grotto, shining brighter than any dragonfly had ever shone before. It flew far and wide, carrying with it the luminous dust. Over time, it left tiny bits of that shining dust in hidden corners throughout the world, spawning glimmers of magic in each place it landed. Others of its kind eventually followed, some returning to the source of the glow they found, until the entire cavern was awash with the presence of these gilded insects, each one a living ember of the grotto's quiet enchantment. As the caretaker's voice trails into silence, the presence of the story lingers. Aurelia finds herself envisioning those first shimmering creatures, valiantly carrying light into dark places, brightening the hidden paths of the earth. The caretaker stands then, their robes swishing softly against the stone floor, and moves to a discreet nook in the chamber where a well-worn trunk rests. Lifting its lid, the caretaker withdraws a blanket, plush and woven in a pattern that mirrors the gentle swirling shapes seen throughout the grotto. Soft, earthy hues blend with threads of pale gold, forming a design that feels both comforting and sublime. With care, the caretaker drapes this blanket around Aurelia's shoulders, tucking the edges so that warmth enfolds her. A delicate fragrance rises from the fabric, reminiscent of lavender and a hint of honey, wrapping her senses in softness. The caretaker then offers a small smile, inclining their head in a gesture that conveys both welcome and farewell, a silent assurance that Aurelia is free to rest here as long as she desires, that she is perfectly safe in the cradle of this magical place. Then, with a gentle step, the caretaker moves away, leaving Aurelia alone with the soft glimmers of the crystals and the gilded dragonfly, which continues its lazy circling above. Time ceases to have meaning. The hush in the chamber, the quiet warmth of the blanket, and the rhythmic pulsing of the crystals blend into a lullaby that urges every muscle to relax. Aurelia's breath grows slower, her eyelids heavier with each passing moment. The cushion beneath her supports her entire body, as though the grotto itself has shaped this nesting place for her comfort. Occasionally, a faint tinkling sound echoes from a distant corridor, maybe the caretaker touching another crystal cluster somewhere deeper inside, maintaining the grotto's gentle harmony. In Aurelia's relaxed state, daydreams drift across her mind like soft clouds. She imagines the dragonfly's golden wings beating in slow motion, trailing sparks of light that trace graceful arcs across the chamber. She pictures the caretaker wandering through corridors lined with living crystals, singing quiet songs of old enchantments and new blessings. She envisions each droplet of water that falls from the stalactites to the pools below, each ripple in tune with a cosmic, timeless lullaby. And in the hush of her heart, she realizes that in this realm, there is space for all these wonders to exist without rush or worry. Perhaps that is the true gift of the grotto, the profound stillness that mends and soothes. Gradually, Aurelia's thoughts begin to slow. Each inhalation feels deeper, each exhalation longer, as though her body has found a natural lull in the music of life. Her eyes close without effort, and images of meandering corridors, twinkling crystals, and kind-eyed caretakers hover in her awareness like gentle phantoms. She has no need to hold on to them. They are part of the grotto's tapestry, always there, swirling in quiet golden dust. Outside, in the forest above, the night continues its measured breath. The canopy of pines stands silent in starlight. Perhaps a gentle breeze stirs the branches, or an owl glides through the air with wings that don't disturb even the smallest leaf. But in this hidden world, beneath the moss and roots, Aurelia nestles deeper into the softness, lulled by the silent pulse of the grotto's heart. She slips into that space between waking and dreaming, where the boundaries of self blur into the hush of a welcoming darkness. Even the gilded dragonfly in time finds a resting spot on a small flower-like crystal near Aurelia, its wings folding in contentment. All around, the glowing dust seems to shimmer slower, in tandem with the drifting pace of Aurelia's breath. If she dreams, her dreams will be filled with the kindness of water, the soothing hush of earth, and the gentle memory of those golden wings leading her through winding tunnels to a hidden sanctuary. The care she's received here and the mystical harmony woven into every surface remain as protective arms around her slumbering mind. And so, in the timeless hush of the gilded dragonfly grotto, Aurelia rests. Each soft pulse of light becomes an invitation to sink deeper into calm, a wordless assurance that all is well. The caretaker, though unseen now, quietly oversees the grotto's silent breath, ensuring that every traveler who passes this way finds the restoration they need. Crystals glint in the distance, the water's surface glows faintly with subdued reflection, and the gilded dragonfly's presence glimmers in the soft darkness. As the night lengthens, the grotto's glow dims to a gentle lull, perfect for the final drift into a deep and peaceful sleep. The hush in the air grows heavier, settling like the lightest velvet over everything. The last rays of the grotto's magic pulse in an unhurried rhythm, echoing the steady beat of a contented heart. In the grand tapestry of life, moments of rest are gifts of renewal, and in this hidden sanctuary, rest envelops all who enter. Let that hush wash over the senses, unfurling like a warm blanket over the mind. Breathe in gently and feel the lingering glow of the crystals. Breathe out slowly, letting the weight of the day melt further away. In the quiet darkness, every part of the body softens, shoulders relax, The muscles in the face release. The arms and legs grow heavy, welcoming rest. Thoughts drift like whispers, dissolving into the calm. In this abiding serenity, Aurelia remains, and so may anyone who closes their eyes and imagines the golden shimmer guiding them into a secret haven. Imagine, if you wish, being carried by that gilded dragonfly's soft glow. Let the mind float upon the gentle hum of a hidden stream, the lullaby of dripping water, and the silent choir of crystals. All around is serenity, offering its tender invitation. Come rest. Let the hush of this place carry you into the deepest of sleeps. With every breath, the heartbeat slows, each exhale releasing another thread of tension until all that remains is a quiet calm. There, in that stillness, lies the hush of the grotto, the hush of the earth, and the hush of night itself. Feel free to nestle down, to let your eyelids grow heavy and your thoughts gently wander away. You are safe, cradled by a mystical realm that holds only kindness and repose. Good night, dear traveler. Sleep well